Hello, entrepreneur! If you're here, it's because you've already stopped to think about how much effort you put into winning each customer, right? You invest time, energy, money in ads, promotions, networking. And when the person finally buys, what happens? Often they disappear, you no longer talk to them, and that's it. The relationship is over. But here's the problem. Most self-employed professionals and small businesses struggle to attract new clients but don't take advantage of the potential of existing customers. And these customers are the most valuable because they already know you and trust you. That's where CRM, customer relationship management, comes in. It helps you organize your contacts, better understand what each one needs, keep the relationship active, and most importantly, sell more to existing clients. In other words, instead of constantly chasing new clients, you learn to increase sales and profits by making better use of what you already have. And that's exactly what I will show you in this course. The course is divided into 4 modules: planning your CRM setup, choosing the right tool, increasing your business's efficiency and effectiveness, measuring what really matters. And, to wrap up, there's a practical lesson so you can understand how the customer lifecycle works in practice. So, if you want to boost your sales, transform the way you deal with your clients, and organize your business, this course is for you. Happy studying. Welcome to the first module of our course. Before we dive into tools and strategies, let me ask you something simple. Do you actually know what CRM is? A lot of people think CRM is just expensive software full of charts and reports, but that's not really the point. CRM is, first of all, a way of organizing how you take care of your customers. The software is only the tool. The essence of CRM is relationship with your client, and that's something every professional or business owner needs to master. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. It's a strategy to organize information, track interactions, and most importantly, strengthen the relationship with the people who already buy from you or could buy from you. This is where many people get it wrong. Managing contacts means having a list of names, phone numbers, and maybe a few emails. It's like having an address book or a spreadsheet full of scattered information. Managing relationships is different. It means following the customer's journey, knowing when they first reached out, understanding what they're looking for, keeping track of their purchase history, staying in touch in a meaningful way. Here's a practical example. Imagine a personal trainer with a spreadsheet of 150 clients. He knows their names and phone numbers. That's managing contacts. Now, imagine that same trainer knows that Maria started training in January because she wanted to lose weight for her wedding in June. He knows how many sessions she's done, what workouts she's completed, and even sends her a motivational message midweek. That's managing a relationship. See the difference? One treats people as data. The other treats data as a way of taking care of people. If you only manage contacts, you'll always be chasing new customers because old ones don't come back. But if you manage relationships, each customer can become a repeat client, bring referrals, and generate much more value for your business. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, just keeping better records already helps you follow up and increases your chances of closing a sale by 30%. CRM is not a luxury for big companies. It's a necessity for anyone who wants to grow, even if you're just starting small. So here's the first big idea. CRM is not just software. CRM is a mindset about how you treat and organize your customer relationships. That's what turns a simple contact list into a real base of profitable relationships. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, but taking care of every client like that sounds like a lot of work. I wouldn't have time for it. And you're right. If you try to manage every relationship manually, writing notes on paper, keeping messy spreadsheets, and trying to remember everything, you'll end up spending way too much time and energy. That's exactly where CRM tools come in. They organize this information for you, remind you of important dates, track every interaction, and even automate some tasks. This way, you can provide a personal human touch without losing efficiency. In other words, you focus on the relationship and the CRM takes care of the boring part of organization. In the next lesson, we'll talk about the different types of CRM and how to choose the right tool for your needs. But before you move on, take a moment to reflect. Do you currently have contacts? Or do you already have relationships? That one question can already change a lot about how you work every day. In the first lesson, we talked about what CRM really is and the difference between just storing contacts and actually managing relationships. Now, let's go a step deeper. If you're a freelancer, a sales professional, or you run a small business, there are 3 fundamentals you need to understand in order to get real results with CRM. 1. Centralizing customer data. 2. Tracking the customer lifecycle. 3. Organizing your sales and service processes. Let's break these down one by one. One of the biggest problems in small businesses is scattered information. A phone number saved in WhatsApp, an email buried in your inbox, notes written on a piece of paper. When data is all over the place, you lose time and miss opportunities. Centralizing data means putting all of that in one single system. A CRM keeps every customer detail in one place. Their contact information, what they purchased, when they purchased, notes about their preferences or challenges. Why is this powerful? Because when everything is together, you can instantly understand your client's story. Instead of spending 15 minutes searching through emails and messages, you have the full picture right in front of you. Imagine this. A client calls you after 6 months, and instead of saying, "Sorry, can you remind me what we worked on last time?" you can immediately say, "Yes, I see that last time you ordered X on this date, and you mentioned you were interested in Y." That level of memory shows professionalism, even if the system is the one remembering for you. Now let's talk about the customer lifecycle. Every client goes through stages, from the first time they hear about you to the moment they buy to becoming a loyal client. The main stages are usually prospect, someone who shows interest; lead, someone who has given you their contact details; customer, someone who buys from you; repeat customer, someone who comes back; advocate, someone who recommends you to others. Without CRM, it's easy to lose track of where each person is in that journey. With CRM, you know exactly who needs a follow-up, who is ready to buy, who hasn't purchased in a while, who might be a great candidate for upselling or referrals. Think of it like a map. If you don't track the life cycle, it's like driving without directions. You don't know where each client is on the road. With CRM, you have GPS for your customer journey. Finally, CRM helps you organize your sales and service processes. Many small businesses operate in a reactive way. They wait for the client to call, then try to figure things out on the spot. That wastes energy and creates a poor experience. With CRM, you can design simple, repeatable processes. For example, every new lead automatically gets a welcome email. After a purchase, the system sets a reminder to follow up in 30 days. Customer service requests are logged and tracked until they are solved. This isn't about creating bureaucracy. It's about consistency. Your clients get the same quality of service every time, and you save mental energy by not reinventing the wheel for every single interaction. And here's the beauty. Once your processes are organized, you can automate parts of them. That way, you can focus on the human side of the relationship while the CRM handles the routine tasks. Up to now, we've been talking about business benefits. But let's be honest, there's also a huge personal benefit to having a well-organized CRM. When you centralize data, track life cycles, and organize processes, you're not just helping your clients, you're helping yourself. Less stress. You don't have to keep everything in your head anymore. Peace of mind. The system reminds you of important dates and follow-ups, so you don't forget. More focus. You can spend your energy on building real relationships instead of chasing information. Better work-life balance. Because you're not wasting hours digging through notes and emails, you actually free up time for yourself. In short, CRM doesn't just make your business smarter, it makes your life easier. And when you feel less stressed and more in control, you naturally show up better for your clients. So, to recap, centralizing customer data keeps everything in one place so you never lose track. Tracking the customer lifecycle shows you exactly where people are on their journey. Organizing sales and service processes makes your business consistent and scalable. And don't forget, the personal benefit: less stress, fewer mistakes, and more time for what really matters. These are the 3 foundations of CRM. If you understand and apply just these, you're already ahead of most small businesses and freelancers out there. In our next lesson, we'll go deeper into the different types of CRM systems: operational, analytical, and collaborative, and how to choose the right tool for you. Now that you understand the fundamentals of CRM, let's pause for a moment before we jump into choosing tools or software. Because here's the truth: buying the best CRM platform in the world won't fix anything if you don't have a clear strategy first. Think of it this way: if you don't know where you're going, even the best GPS won't help you. That's why we need to talk about strategy before the tool. Specifically, we'll look at 3 things. 1. Mapping your customer journey. 2. Defining which information really matters. 3. Avoiding the trap of collecting useless data. Let's start with mapping the customer journey. This simply means asking, what does my client experience from the very first moment they hear about me until they become a loyal customer? For example, maybe they first see an Instagram ad. Then they visit your website or message you on WhatsApp. Next, they ask a few questions, maybe compare prices, and finally decide to buy. After that, they might need support, follow-up, or even get interested in a second product. When you map this journey, you start to see all the touch points where you can improve communication and build trust. Here's a tip: grab a piece of paper and sketch out those stages for your own business. Where are customers dropping off? Where do they usually get stuck? Those are exactly the spots where CRM will make the biggest difference. Once you've mapped the journey, the next step is to decide what information you actually need to capture. Many small businesses make the mistake of trying to record everything: age, birthday, favorite color, shoe size, and then they get overwhelmed with data they never use. Instead, ask yourself, what details will help me serve my client better and increase sales? For example, if you're a personal trainer, knowing the client's fitness goals and availability is way more important than their favorite TV show. If you're a baker, knowing what events your clients usually order cakes for is much more valuable than knowing their pet's name. The point is, every field in your CRM should have a purpose. If you don't know why you're collecting a piece of information, don't collect it. This brings us to the 3rd principle: avoid collecting useless data. More data doesn't automatically mean better insights. In fact, the more clutter you have, the harder it becomes to find what you actually need. And when you're overwhelmed, you stop using the system, which defeats the whole purpose. A good CRM strategy is about quality over quantity. Collect only what helps you make decisions, personalize communication, and strengthen relationships. Think of it like a toolbox. You don't need 200 tools if you only ever use a hammer and a screwdriver. It's better to have fewer tools that you use well than a bunch of tools gathering dust. So here's the big takeaway: don't rush to the tool. Start with your strategy. Map out your customer journey. Decide which information truly matters. And avoid drowning in useless data. With a clear strategy, the CRM software you choose will actually work for you instead of becoming just another digital headache. In the next lesson, we'll explore the types of CRM systems available and how to choose the one that fits your business best. Up to this point, we've talked about strategy, fundamentals, and how to prepare before jumping into a CRM system. Now let's make it really practical. You don't need expensive software to start identifying where you're losing opportunities with your clients. All you need is a notebook, a spreadsheet, or even a few sticky notes. If you want, for this exercise, you can use any of those, or you can also use the course workbook, which is available for free download here in the video description. Let's walk through a simple example. Step 1. Write down recent client interactions. Start by listing 5 to 10 of your most recent client interactions. Write down things like who the client was, what they were looking for, whether you closed the sale or not, any notes about why they didn't move forward. This already gives you visibility that usually gets lost in your head. Step 2. Look for patterns in the notes. Now take a step back and look for patterns. Did several clients ask the same question before buying? Did multiple people stop responding after a certain point? Did you forget to follow up with someone who showed interest? Those repeating situations are your bottlenecks. They're telling you exactly where the relationship is breaking down. Step 3. Identify missed opportunities. For example, imagine you're a freelancer designer. You look at your notes and see that 3 clients asked about website design, but you only offer logo design. That's a missed upsell opportunity. Or let's say you run a bakery. You notice several customers ordered a birthday cake once, but never came back the following year because you didn't remind them. That's a retention gap. These bottlenecks aren't just problems. They're opportunities to improve your business. Step 4. Connect it to CRM. Once you identify these patterns, moving to a CRM becomes much easier. Why? Because now you know exactly what kind of information you need to track. If you keep forgetting follow-ups, your CRM should have reminders and tasks. If you're missing upsell chances, you should track customer interests and preferences. If clients are disappearing after the first purchase, you need to use your CRM to schedule retention campaigns. The simple notes give you the diagnosis. The CRM becomes the treatment. So here's the big insight. You don't need fancy technology to see where your relationships are breaking. Start small. Take notes. Find the patterns. Once you understand your bottlenecks, you'll be ready to use CRM not just as a database, but as a powerful tool to remove those obstacles and grow your business. And that's the end of our first module. Next, we'll move on to Module 2, where we'll explore the different types of CRM systems and how to choose the one that really fits your needs. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow the rest of the course and give us a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. See you in the next module.